And yeah, you guys are joining a great IG Live interview. We're going to get right into it. Les, how are you?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How you hanging through this crisis?
We're doing our thing, trying to keep busy and doing a little bit of projects that I kind of let go. When I was real busy, and now it's on, man. I'm just trying to stay busy.
Cool, cool. Would you like to reveal what those projects are?
Well, uh, I just purchased a step van, so
Oh,
we've been working on a step van, and that I bought a 1994 Chevy step van
mm-hmm.
that I'm actually converting into a portable recording studio.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
And is this under the Bump Box brand, or is just a less
This is
thing?
kind of my two kids are both into music, and my
Mm-hmm.
daughter is a singer songwriter, producer, and my son also does beats and produces.
Wow.
And I thought, what a great time. So when we went on lockdown or quarantine, um, I knew that it was a good time to kind of pull the trigger. So I've been looking
Awesome.
at them and found one, so brought it home. So that's what I've been working on right now.
Yeah, isn't it funny how we're able to get more creative when we are put in a position to kind of like make something out of nothing? And that's a
Yeah.
plus. It's a big plus. Shouts out to Jimmy. Endless
Hey,
T in
what's
the
up,
house.
Jimmy? Yeah, we did it kind of ass backwards just because, in these times people are trying to watch their spending and things like that. And so when I approached my wife and said, "Hey, what do you think about us doing this? It'll be something to do, and we kind of have the kids have a part in it as well." So she was down with it. So we made the purchase, and right now it's pretty much it's gutted. It's already the inside's ready. I just need to do some odds and ends. I bought solar panels, so solar's going to be running it.
No
Yeah,
way.
it's gonna be a legit thing. So pretty much the first one I know that's gonna be around. So
That's dope. I think you're gonna try to make it into like some Mad Max special where you could just go off into a zombie apocalypse and be already set
well,
and prepared.
we thought about that too. So everyone's reaching out to me because being in the industry that I am, it's all up, and it's all about networking. And so a lot of people that I know that are in the car, the car industry reached out to me and said, "Dude, you should put a dope wrap on the vehicle, right?"
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing. I don't want to do that because it's like me buying a bump box truck and putting bump box over it, all
Right,
over it.
right.
Then wherever I park, they know there might be bump boxes in the truck. So it's trouble waiting to happen. So I'm gonna
Makes
keep it low
sense.
key. We're gonna keep it pretty much the way it looks. I have an idea. I don't know if your viewers want to hear my idea, but
Go for it.
it's a dope idea. So the van that I got, it's a white van,
Mm-hmm.
and my idea,
That's already a bad thing when it's white.
it's white. And so this came up from my buddy Marco from Chosen One Apparel, which you know as
Shouts out
well.
to Marco. Love him
Yeah.
too.
And Jimmy kind of piggybacked on it, and my buddy Strider from Hip Hop Trooper,
Hip Hop
he,
Trooper.
yeah. So we talked about it, and so I decided that I'm gonna make the van into Doc Brown's van from Back to the Future,
Ooh, there
because
you go.
it's exactly the same truck. It's a P30 step
Right,
van,
right.
the one that he brings, into the mall with
Mm-hmm,
the
mm-hmm. Yeah,
DeLorean.
into the parking area.
Yeah, so all we're gonna do is just put the lettering on it, keep it pretty
Gotcha.
simple, and so outside it'll look pretty, like it's been worked, like but inside you're gonna open it up and it's gonna have a booth in it. It's gonna have all the stuff that a regular recording studio would have. So
Wow, wow. I can't wait to see all this come
yeah,
together.
we'll bring it over to you, man.
I hope so. I hope so over here in the Valley, Las Vegas, and all
Yeah.
that, San Diego, Las Vegas. scroll back because I believe Parkside Market has a question about bump box in regards to like having 15s and stuff like that.
Oh
And
man.
shouts out to everyone that's tuning in. Big shout out to Malia, to Sandy, to Marv, all y'all. Thank you for
Yeah,
tuning
thanks for
in. You
coming
see
in.
that, right?
So Parkside Market, our largest box that we make is called the Uprock, and that actually has four subs, and then tweeters, and that's 1,000 watts, and it's pretty loud. I think if you're gonna go anything more than that, you might as well buy you a real PA system or something that you're gonna rock in a car that's specially made for bumping. This is, our brand is really for portability, which the
Right.
Uprock is not really portable. Sam's felt the weight of the Uprock.
Yes, yes, I
It's
do
got
have
some
the
weight.
Uprock. Thank you,
Yeah,
Les, for that. And yeah, it is quite a beast. It's a tank.
it's a tank.
Uh, to move it around, you have to have a dolly.
Yeah,
Quite
yeah.
honest with you. And
And even
I
with
was
me, I mean, you have to, even to walk it, you can walk it, but if you're shorter than like 5'8", it's almost like you're dragging it on the floor, pretty much. So it's that big. So yeah, that's our biggest one. I mean, not a lot of people. There are people that want it, but I always tell people, if you want it, you gotta just make it stationary. You just put it in one place and it's gonna stay unless you're gonna dolly it.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
So let's just dive right into the bump box. I'm gonna go ahead and pull mine
yeah,
down,
yeah.
and you could go ahead and talk about it. This is the Flare. Wait, I'm sorry. This is
The
the
Ultra.
Ultra.
That's our latest model, the Ultra, and that's the smallest model we have. And so what that is a Bluetooth. It's got an SD drive or a USB drive that you can plug your music into. And what's really cool about that, it's the lightest of all of them. So it's about maybe 7-8 pounds. Yeah, and it's perfect for just like walking around, going to the beach, going to the pool. It's perfect.
You could turn off and on the LEDs right here.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Pretty cool. Uh, the only thing that I missed from like the freestyle one is the lighting that will go with the
Yeah.
LED. So you
Yeah,
guys kind
the all those things that have in our other boxes, like everything you're going to add to it, of course, is going to add to the price. So we wanted to keep that price under $200, a little bit more affordable, because our other boxes, of course, go from anywhere from 260 on up to 895. So we wanted to keep an affordable box that people could rock out. And people say, well, how does it compare to like Bose or something like that? It's really, for me, it's not a comparison, because a Bose sound like Bose. But if you walk into a place or an event with a Bose, no one would care less. But if
very
you
true.
walk in with a bump box, you're gonna turn heads, because there's still not a lot of people that have seen them.
I agree. I agree. Well
Yeah.
said, Les. Yeah, I mean, as you can tell, I did some customizations, put on stickers, and talk about how people could customize their bump boxes and also submit photos to you guys so you could tag them and give them props.
Yeah, definitely. My IG is bumpbox.socal, and I am the only premier bump box dealer in the world, pretty much. Been with the company since the start, so it's going on 4 years now. So I've seen everything from when we started to where we are now, and as a company, still growing. We're still innovating and trying out new things. So pretty excited on that. But our biggest thing for SoCal is that we keep things very organic, and we
Mm-hmm.
keep things like, if you call Bump Box SoCal, guess who you're going to talk to? You're going to talk to me, because I'm the man. So that's the good thing. And when you need anything, you can reach out to me anytime.
Beautiful, beautiful. Sandy in there says, turn it on so we could kind of get an idea, and I will
Yeah.
do that. It's obviously there's limitations because we're doing this online, but at
Yeah,
least you
yeah.
get an idea of like the power of it.
And are you hooked up Bluetooth, or you got a
Yeah,
stick in there? Yeah.
this is Bluetooth.
Yeah.
It's going from my desktop.
Oh, good.
It has power.
You basically, you can go in front of your house and you can make the neighborhood kind of like turn their heads and go, who's playing that music? So yeah.
Yeah, with this little thing. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
It's like I said, it's when each of our models are distinct in pricing, distinct on the sound that you want. So, it really, you just have to find what's in your price range and exactly what you want to do with it.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah.
And right now, you guys are having a special, so talk about that.
Yeah, right now, we're still we've extended to 20% off. So 20% off on all of our products right now. If you just go to bumpbox.socal, well, that's IG, but bumpboxsocal.com. And then we put the discount code is stimulus because, of course, we've got a lot of people like got their stimulus check. I didn't get one, so
I didn't get one either.
yeah, I didn't get one, but there's a lot of people that are out there that are looking to spend their money. And especially for those people that have been kind of on the fence to purchase one because of the pricing, this is the best way to do it. And plus, on my site, we have a pay, it kind of, what is it?
Plan?
Payment plan for ours is we go through Klarna, and you could get, as small or as large of a box that you want, and you could do easy payments and divide it any way you want. So that's a good part about it. So that's on our website.
There's a no-brainer. Everyone out there, pick it up. If you have any questions, just direct message me or Les, and we'll give you those links. So as far as being involved with Bumpbox from the beginning, what kind of drew you into this franchise?
Well, I mean, I've always been into music, and I've always had one of these things. See, these are my original boom boxes.
Classics.
And
cassette tapes.
Yeah, I
had them too.
I have over 20 because I'm an avid collector for one, and I've always wanted one, and I've had them, and I always used to walk around with it, but on a 10 D cell batteries, and you're playing it full blast, you probably get at least 30 minutes if you play continuously, 30 minutes to an hour of playtime, and that's the box is done.
Yep.
So I've always wanted to come up with my own line of boom boxes. Right. So when I was doing that, I had the design already in my head and everything. And then when I went online, Bumpbox showed up on an Indiegogo. They were trying to get funding to produce the product. Okay. And my whole thought, because of course I'm a businessman, I'm a marketer, and I knew that the first company to go live and in market with that product would pretty much own the market if it was a good product, right? So instead of trying to compete with myself, I went ahead and made the initiative I just reached out to them, man. I found out who they were. I found out where they were. I emailed them. I called them, and I said, basically, hey, if this thing gets funded and you guys go into production, I want to be part of the team, whether that be helping design or being a distributor. I want in. So that's how it all started, man. And they hit me back and said, yeah, we're starting up a distributor program, if you want to do that. So
that's awesome. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Slammin Sam and Les of Bumpbox SoCal. One of the, would I consider you a founder of Bumpbox, or?
No, I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I've just been someone that has been with the company from pretty much day one. Yeah. A lot of people see me because, on the main site, the Bumpbox site, you see pictures of everyone with their boxes, but you never really know the people that, like, you never see the founders or the owners, which is good and bad. I mean, there's nothing bad about it. But for me, starting Bumpbox SoCal, at first, when I first started, the first 3 years, maybe 2.5 years, you only saw the same thing that Bumpbox was posting. So people's site, I would find people that would post it on their IG, and I would copy, paste, all that stuff, right? And then I just decided that, as a brand for Bump Box SoCal, which is
Mm-hmm.
different, that they needed to see a face. And so
Got it.
that's why, which I didn't really want to do, is put myself in front of the camera, but
Yeah.
I ended up doing that. And it's been the best choice I could have done, because when they see me, they know what's up. They know what I stand for.
Right.
My page is organic. I only mess with people that mess with me.
Yeah.
So, and you know that. I mean, we've known each other for a while now, and I love kind of keeping my network, and network pretty small in terms of that, but my reach is large.
Very true.
That's the best way I could say about it.
Cool, cool. Yeah, and shouts out to Marco of Chosen One, apparel clothing brand. He's the one that had us connect. So much props to Marco, and also the entire crew that you have there with Jimmy of Endless Tees, Hip Hop
Yeah.
Trooper. All those cats are quality people. So you partnered
Yeah.
up with a good circle of franchises in a lot of
His
ways.
reach, Jimmy says his reach is large.
That's
I don't know how to take that. You can never know what Jimmy's
Jimmy.
trying to
Yeah,
sneak
yeah,
in
he's poking fun now. He's just trying to
there.
mess with you. So as far as like the design, obviously like the Ultra, you have the graffiti and the texture that looks so sleek and cool. Uh, how does that uh, transpire into the conference room in terms of like, okay, we're gonna go with this idea and see how that sticks. Walk us through that process.
I think most of it is just what people want. So, our other products were like our V3S or our V1, which was our first product that we came out with, and that's a beast. You have one of those too,
Yes, the
and
freestyle.
that it was cool. It's louder than heck, but it's heavy.
It's very
And
heavy, and the
in the go ahead.
oh the it was heavy. It was loud. It was very effective. The one thing on the first manufacturing run is that the handle here was
Yes.
flat, and I think you've seen the way I customize it. I put
Yeah.
sort of a pull styrofoam on it,
Yep.
so it's
Mhm.
grippable. So yeah, there was. I mean, those were the early days where everything was just trying to like
Yeah.
configure.
I mean, it was a square handle.
Yeah,
So if you had to carry it for any length, I mean, when I first started, bro, I would walk blocks and blocks with carrying that thing. In fact,
I saw
it's so
that.
funny because you feel like your arms are getting stretched out. You feel like a monkey. But yeah, man, I did that for years, carrying that thing around. But um,
Yeah, and you
you know,
also had it on your bike too when you would do those runs around San
yeah.
Diego beaches.
Yeah, so I had the bright ideas, like, you know what? Instead of carrying this around, and I do a lot of stuff with the bike community, the
Hmm.
lowrider bike scene, the stretch bike scene. What if I made a tricycle with a built-in box that can hold the big V3? So I hit up my one of my buddies, and I drew it on paper. I said, "This is what I'm thinking. Is it possible?" And no one had ever done it before. And I said, "Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so you say it's possible, but can we put a um, a motor on it so I could lift the box to a play position and then a ride position, right?" And so then they thought about it. So we ended up putting a pneumatic arm on it and
Hmm.
a battery so that could run on that. And that was the first one. But that was actually my trike number two. My trike number one I built. That was my first one ever I built. And when I was going to go to the trike two, the owner of Bump Box actually wanted it. So I sent it. I sent it up to him, and so he has it. He has the first trike one.
Oh wow. Oh
Yeah.
wow. So when it comes to these designs and ideas, you have full okay as far as moving forward. You don't have to run it through the owner. He's just going to entrust you in this. How does that go?
Well, no, I mean, I keep pretty much with the I keep aligned with, because I'm all about keeping the brand's integrity.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always been very careful and to make sure that I'm respectful of the brand. So I just want to make sure that I always ask for permission, not that I have to,
Right,
but
right.
because I think it's how business should be done. I don't
Exactly. The
do
chain of
anything with
command,
them.
you got to respect that.
Right. And it's not like I don't work for them. I do everything on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an independent distributor for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm the largest and the one that has more I guess interest in the company, I believe. But
Gotcha.
I do my best. Like I said, I just try to represent the brand.
Perfect.
So whatever they ask me for my input on things, but that's not my call, because guess what? It's not my money. That's the difference, right? So yeah,
Yeah, there you
yeah,
go. There you go. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now tuning in, Les from Bump Box SoCal is with me.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
talking about this incredible product that you're probably seeing on your Facebook live feed or Instagram feed, where celebrities, athletes, actors throughout Hollywood are just flexing these left and right. I just wanted to touch base on that. Uh, how does that work? Because I'm seeing like my I'm the biggest 49er fan on the planet. I see the Niners having it. I'm seeing Deion Sanders. I'm seeing everyone that's a big face in the industry sport the bump box. How is that possible?
Well, I mean, the company actually is based out of Stockton, so they're in Northern California, and they have a lot of connections. And like I said, it's all about networking, right? And so the owners are really good at networking and pretty much connecting with people that can help the brand. So with the 49ers, we knew someone that knew someone, and we were able to get our boxes into the hands of the players. And it ended up being one of our biggest things, marketing tools, because what we weren't expecting is that they were actually coming out of the tunnel
I
with the
saw that.
bump box on one of the trainers'
Shoulders.
shoulders,
Mm-hmm.
and that was on camera everywhere in the United States.
Yep. Yep.
So
That was
it
big.
was it was crazy. So that was a huge marketing boost. And you know what? It's just one of those things, is that you are at the right place at the right time, because you never know, man. I've given a lot of boxes out to a lot of celebrities,
Mm-hmm.
and I could count on probably two hands the ones that actually you know not that they don't appreciate it, but that will give you love back,
Right, right.
because that's the biggest thing too, is like, kind of, it's not like you're giving out CDs or something. I'm
Yeah,
giving a box out that costs a lot of money. So
correct, correct.
and instinctively, yeah, I want to get it to hands of someone that will love it and use it, but ultimately it is a marketing tool.
Mm-hmm.
So you got
Well,
to look at your return on investment, man.
very true. And I think it's a very smart move, because if you look at it, you're going to have to find some form of advertisement in some shape or form, whether it's going to be radio or TV. Now, you put all those dollars and kind of calculate it. It's like, okay, if I'm going to give away 5 bump boxes to X amount of people
Hmm.
that are always in front of the camera, that's just the same amount as if I was going to pay over at a radio station in San Diego to talk about it.
Yep.
So you got kind of have to weigh the costs and that in the way you feel is going to be acceptable.
Yeah.
That makes sense as far as that comparison.
It does, because like it is, it's everything with it, with doing ads online, ads on TV, everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about return on investment. So how much you're putting in and how much are you getting out? And I calculate that out to the percentage, how much percentage. And if it doesn't work, then don't go there,
Right, right.
or try different, avenue or something that will kind of pique more interest. It's hard. It's a hard thing, you know.
Yeah. Well, I think across the board, whenever you're an independent contractor, entrepreneur, you're always going to take risks.
Yeah,
Uh, but I think that's the luxury of being able to do it because, hey, it's only going to take that one big hit in terms of being able to
yeah,
get like from this point to this point, and
yeah,
that's what you got to hope for.
yeah,
Like right now, we're going live. There might be someone out there that's going to say, "Hey, I want to put in money to
yeah.
take it to the next level. How do we go
Mhm.
about it?" So
Yeah,
you're,
you never
you're
know.
smart.
You never know. And my largest, I guess my largest obstacle that I have being a bump box dealer is that when you see the box, you look at it as bump box. So I could walk around and I could give them a card. I can tell them, check out Bump Box SoCal. But at the end of the day, when they go home and they go, you know what, I want to order that box. So they go to bumpbox.com and order the box.
Right.
And it pretty much cuts me out of anything, and
Gotcha.
that's a lot of stuff that I've had to deal with, and it's a huge obstacle, but it's one of those things where I have to calculate that that's just part of the job. I mean, it's just part of the win-loss column for me.
Yeah, and that's the branding separation that you have to kind of like let everyone know that it's
Yeah,
bumpboxsocal.com.
yeah, yeah,
And whenever you're Googling, make sure there's a SoCal at the end.
yeah.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you want more information, just direct message me or Les, and we'll go ahead and help you get your own bump box. I just love the LEDs, man. It's just
I know.
so cool. See, you could just turn off and on, boom, and
I know,
customize
but
it.
it's always nicer though if you can have that thing jumping around with your music, right? I mean, that it's like disco, man. I remember the bump box that I've always the boom box that I wanted as a kid
Mhm.
was the disco light. And I don't know if you remember those. It was the bump boxes, the boom boxes with the lights, and it would be disco.
Right, right.
And
I would see those over at the flea markets back in the day.
yeah, if you would have purchased it now, because the disco lights go for about 900 to 1,000 or more, depending on
Yeah.
quality. Yeah, so I've always wanted one. I never could afford one, and even when they were $100 back in the day, $100 was a lot for me. I mean, So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can't find them anymore because now everyone's collecting. Everything nostalgic now is, you know,
Yeah,
everybody collects nostalgia.
exactly, exactly. Whether it's going to be boom boxes or video game consoles. I
Yeah.
mean, I just picked up the Atari throwback flashback console that has 120 games.
Uh huh.
You're talking about like Combat,
Oh yeah.
Kaboom, uh, all that Pitfall.
Oh yeah.
It just brings you back to that very young period of innocence
Oh
and
man.
that you could just play with the simplicity and just that whole 8-bit dynamic is just it just makes you become 13 again,
Yeah,
and I
dude,
love it.
I still remember back in the day when we used to walk down to 7-Eleven and there were arcade games inside 7-Eleven, you know,
And comic books.
and comic books. And that tripped me out. Now that I think about it, I'm like, oh man, never thought about that back in the days where you just you'd have a pocket full of quarters and
Hmm.
you'd go there and that was your leisure time
Yeah,
walking to the corner.
yeah, exactly. And it was just it was just a pureness of those moments that uh,
Oh yeah.
I reflect on and try to bring back in. As far as like nostalgic collectibles, besides the boom boxes and stuff, what are you into?
Well, just like you, I was a DJ at one point in my life, and I still collect vinyl pretty heavily.
Nice.
Not as much now, but because now everybody is collecting vinyl. But back in the day, I was that guy that would go out to flea markets and garage sales, and I used to bring a portable turntable with me,
Hmm.
and I'd go digging, and that was pretty much me from like the 80s and 90s, man. I was a digger.
Yeah, yeah,
I dug everywhere.
yeah.
So yeah.
Speaking of portable, I'll show you my portable right here.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I think you've seen this at one of the cons that
Oh yeah, the
I've
new
gone.
mark.
Yes, the new mark. Bam!
Boom. It's my favorite.
Yes, yes, and you can tell it's all custom with all the
And I
stickers and
love
stuff
my
like
sticker on
that.
there. I
And
got
guess,
my sticker
yeah,
on there.
and guess what's on there?
Yeah, representing.
Exactly. So, I never give up on the love for you, Les. That's for sure.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I've always collected that stuff, and which my wife hates because I'm kind of a hoarder when it comes to like electronic stuff. It's hard for me to give to get rid of it. I mean, when I started DJing in the early '80s.
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
putting
you
my age.
super super dated yourself by
Yeah,
saying.
super, super dated. Okay. So early 80s, I remember, I think I was rocking two Kenwood turntables because we couldn't afford anything like that. You'd have
Oh,
to put a freaking nickel on there so the needles wouldn't skip. And
guilty.
yep. And I used, at first, we used just a regular audio mixer that didn't have a channel one, channel two. You would just put them on different slide channels, right?
Right, right.
and and
Now,
then
this doesn't sound like a realistic mixer. It sounds like it's something much older.
no, it's not. It was just a sound mixer. I think I got it from like Radio Shack or Realistic or something like that,
Yeah.
and that's how I started um, doing stuff. And that was back early 80s. And then before that, I mean, I was the guy that we used to do mixtapes where you're listening to the. I used to, because I live in San Diego.
The pause
And
button.
yeah, I used to try to tune into LA K Day.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so I try to get it in San Diego, and you'd have to like really, really find it on
Fine
the
tune
dial.
it.
And then I would have my tape, and once the guy stopped talking, I'd flip off the pause button, record it, and then yeah, that's how I started doing my mix stuff. Just so I
What's
could
funny
have
is that
something to hear.
I did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I still have my cassettes.
Oh my gosh, I wish I
Yeah.
had all mine.
Yeah, I digitized probably a quarter of it, so I got like 75% that I still have to transfer, but
Yeah.
there's nothing like those classic airwave radio mixes. Uh, and
Well,
what's funny is that obviously we're not the only ones, and several DJs have uploaded mixes from
yes.
K-Day and the stations here in the Bay Area. Well, in the Bay Area, I'm over here in Vegas, but those are just magical when you hear them.
Bro,
Totally.
it's like the those home mixtapes like from those cats in New York. And shout out to the Bay Area because they were huge. It's the only two places you could really listen to that kind of stuff. So yeah, I was intrigued by that at a really, really early age, man. And
Yeah.
so thank goodness my dad loved. He was an audiophile himself, so he was the one that
Oh, really?
pretty much, yeah, he's pretty much the one that turned me on to music.
What
We'd
did he
always have
pass?
music.
What did he pass on to you? Obviously, he had to give you something.
You know what? Oh, passing on. I mean, I still have all of. I have his reel to reel that I won't get rid of, and then I
Is it
know I
working?
can't. Huh?
Is it
It's
working?
yeah, it's still working. In
Do you have
fact,
any real reels?
I got some reel to reels that we have music on the reel to reels because that's what we were
Not
doing. We were
now. Is it
transferring. Go ahead.
is it a Tascam?
It was a Tascam. Yes. Hmm. And
Yeah.
so, he we would take our vinyl and we would record it onto reel to reel. So I've got like hours and hours of it, and it's in storage right now because I just don't have room for it. But I'll never give it up. So
Right.
those are kind of things. In fact, a really funny story is that when I was younger, I loved to tinker, and my dad was on cruise because my dad was in the Navy, and I
Mm-hmm.
actually took the whole uh, reel to reel apart, okay, just to see what was inside because
Okay.
that's my deal.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
You were doing a Tony Stark.
I panicked because I couldn't put it all back together. It took me
Ooh.
like 2 days to figure out where everything went, and thank God I was able to finish it. So that's a story, but
And that's the same Tascam that you still have now.
I still have today. Yes.
Wow,
Yeah.
you man, I was a tinker when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
and 9 out of 10 times I couldn't put it back together. I just like start
Yeah.
taking stuff apart, and next thing you know, all right, this thing isn't flexing the way it's supposed to be flexing. I give
Right.
up.
Yeah. I used to mesh. I used to take boom boxes from other things and change speakers, and I'd use like the cement stuff, the ceiling cement to try to
Right,
put
right.
them in there. We'd call them Frankenstein boxes, So
No
I've
way.
always I try to make them louder and all this. I try to hook up, more batteries to it so that it
Hmm.
would last longer.
Hmm.
So yeah, I tried all that stuff. So that's kind of my background. I mean, I've always been into music. I mean, there's just, that's been my life from day
So
one.
you're just a boombox engineer maniac.
You know what? I wouldn't say that. I mean, shoot, the first when I used to ride my bicycle, and this was, in the '70s, bro.
Hmm.
I used to have I was the kid that everyone knew that would ride with a transistor radio strapped to his
Yeah,
handlebar. I
yeah,
was the kid.
yeah. Probably you're the one that kicked off that whole idea of being able to have it on your bike.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that because people would say, "Oh, turn it up. That's a good song," and it, that made me feel good, and
Hmm.
that's probably why I became a DJ as well, because that that instant, you know
Gratification, like wow,
gratification and them saying, "Whoa, turn that up," you know. So
that's
yeah,
awesome.
man, it's cool. I mean, and it's nice to see that my kids are in the same thing. So that's my kind of legacy to hand to them too, is the love for music.
Hey, it started with your dad. I mean, he
Yeah,
passed
man.
it
Yeah,
on to you, and you're passing
yeah.
it to your kids.
I have this great photo. I don't know if you guys can see it, but
Let's take a
it's
look.
it's right there. It's kind of hard to see, but that's my dad on top. He was in the '60s.
Okay,
He's on the ground on the tarmac here in San Diego. There was probably early '60s,
okay,
and it's him with a portable record player with
portable.
vinyl. Yes,
Okay,
and then the next picture of the three is me in my DJ days when I was fully engulfed in it. And then on the bottom picture is my son on a turntable.
gotcha. So
Yeah,
you're just having like a generational like photo
yeah,
of everything.
yeah. I tried to get my son into DJing, but nah, they didn't want it. It's you really have to kind of, you have to put in the practice, man.
You
It's
got
like
you got to
anything
have a
else.
passion for it, brother.
You have to have a passion for it, and that's why I knew that it was time for me to retire and not do gigs anymore. Because not that I didn't have the passion, but man, back in the days, you were lugging albums, you were lugging turntables, you do like, you go to clubs and stuff ain't right, stuff is not what you're used to.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, we were good at the DJs coming up in the '80s were good at like figuring shit out.
yeah. Let's touch on that because you coming from the San Diego area,
Hmm.
what were the clubs that were happening back in the day?
Oh man, well, San Diego, there was a lot. I mean, we come from a Navy town, so there was clubs everywhere, especially in the beach area, in Pacific Beach,
Gaslamp.
Mission Beach, gas. Well, downtown back in those. Well, if we're talking '80s and '90s,
Mm-hmm.
downtown was a different monster in San Diego. I mean,
I
it
bet.
it was tough. It wasn't gentrified yet.
Yeah.
So the only, I don't think there was some clubs down there, and the start of the gentrification of downtown, and those were mostly underground clubs that we used to go to. I used
Gotcha.
to spin at one of the underground clubs down there, and yeah, man, it was just a different feel, man.
I bet. I bet. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions for Les of Bumpbox SoCal, please type it in the
Yeah,
comments.
hit us up.
Yeah, and he'll answer whatever questions you have. Ask him what his favorite color is. He'll answer it. Uh, so as far as being involved with Bumpbox, what's your most memorable experience? Tell me a relationship with a celebrity or an event.
Oh man,
What is it?
I've had so many, but I think the biggest the biggest thing that I've come out with in the last 4 years is the friendship that I had with the guys from Two Live Crew. So, if anyone doesn't know Two Live Crew, they are probably legends when it comes to
Yes, they
the
are.
to the rap game.
And what's funny
And
is that I did a remix for Two Live Crew back in the day for the song Two Live Party, and it's on vinyl.
oh, really? That is
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, they're
So
great.
I
They're
I
great.
met them I met them at a concert that I was at,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a booth at the concert, and at the beginning of the concert, I saw Brother Marquise walking, and so I grabbed him and said, "What's up?" and stuff, and so we pretty much just kept in touch. So those guys, I'm on their list for anything, for anything that they do, any shows. I have a free pass backstage anywhere, so they invite me to all their shows and stuff. And then
Gotcha.
through that, I've met other people, and then that just grew the network. So
Yeah,
I've been fortunate enough to be able to go backstage to some of the coolest hip hop stuff,
that's awesome.
concerts. So yeah,
That's awesome.
let's see. Let's see. Someone's asking, what's the expectancy of the battery? It
Yeah,
depends on what unit. The unit that Sam has, the Ultra, that's about a 20-hour battery.
I believe that's Paul. He recently purchased a flare.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So a flare will run about 8 to 10 hours.
Wow,
Yeah, I mean,
that's pretty.
depending on what you're using, and if you're doing it full blast, it may differ, but we always say about 8 to 10, and it's a lithium battery. Not like our other ones. Our bigger models are actually running on 12-volt dry cells, and that's
Hmm.
why they're so freaking heavy.
Right.
They're not lithium batteries, man. they're
Hey,
like they're like motorcycle batteries.
yeah, literally, literally. Now, as far as like the battery itself in the unit, what's the lifespan is before it just doesn't hold a charge anymore?
Yeah, it could be. It depends really on the thing, and of course, they're. Wait, how? Oh, there you go. You're answering his question right there. Chrissa B in the house.
Yes. What's up?
What's up? And so,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah. So, I mean, lithium can go way longer than a 12-volt dry cell.
Hmm.
So I would say the life expectancy of that is probably 3 to 4 years before it probably will need changing. It's
Gotcha.
really, believe it or not, it's really easy to change. So
Yeah.
you can actually change that yourself. You just got to make sure that you have the right ampage and the right batteries. But it's pretty easy to change up. You
Hmm.
can actually even add more batteries, but then if you add more, I mean, there's a lot of customizations, but of course, if you customize it, you your
Quite a warranty.
warranty,
Yeah.
you void your warranty. But you know,
Or you could just send it to Les, and he'll do some massive uh, customization that would just
yeah,
blow
man.
your mind.
If you bought the box from me, you've got 100% like for me to help you. I mean, I've got some cats that have come to me with some really crazy problems, and I say, well, where did you buy the box? And they said, well, I bought it from the main site. I said, so you didn't buy it from me? They go, no. And I said, here's the number, call the main site. So then
Exactly.
why won't you help? And I said, I'll help, but only if the main site and you're close enough, you know.
There you go. See, and
Yeah,
Paul did. He get it. He got it from you. So Paul, thank
awesome.
you for your support.
Yeah,
And
thank you,
yeah,
Paul.
you also want people to do like this sort of video thing and submit it, right?
Yeah, I'm working on a huge project right now. Is the zoom in, zoom out
Yeah.
video. So having your camera inside the speaker grill, come out, show your face, and then bring it back in. If you do have a box for me, do that, and I'll put you in the mix. And I've got some pretty good surprises that who's gonna be in the mix. So yeah, it'll be fun. Of
I
course,
can't wait.
trying to get these big heads to try to do stuff like that. It's pretty tough, but I'm trying right now. I got a couple of them, so yeah, it'll be fun.
I can't wait to see it.
She'd
So
ask, how do you get it directly from you? Yeah, if you go on my IG page, it'll have my website. It's boxsocal.com.
there you go.
Okay,
There you go.
Southern
Or just
California.
DM him. DM Les
DM
right
me,
now.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And the funny thing about it too is that they think, oh, I only service SoCal. In the beginning, that's the way it was kind of supposed to be. That was my territory from
Yeah.
pretty much LA on down to San Diego. But now I ship pretty much all over the country.
Yeah. And the
People hit me up And it's just word of mouth because they know, you know, and everyone asks, well, what's the difference between your site and the main site? I said, absolutely, positively, no difference. Same pricing, same warranty.
Mm-hmm.
But I
You
feel
just
my
get
customers, what's
you
that?
get the personal love and customer support from Les. So
Yes, and that's the
especially
thing
if
is
you're
that I really make sure that my customer service is top notch. Not that Bump Box is not top notch. They are. Don't get me wrong, but you're also dealing with a company that's probably doing 500 sales a day or more. I mean, the company's huge. So, you know, and you're talking about someone way smaller than them, and you know, I'm just trying to make my way.
exactly. And Marvin here posted the website. Is that
That
correct?
is that is my website. Yes, yes.
Perfect.
So I have all
Perfect.
the models, same colors, same everything, same warranty, and it does ship out. Look at this, Miguel. Les, your customer service is top notch, bro. See, he knows. He's
There you
got a
go.
box from me. He's
Yeah.
also did the in and out.
Real.
He's done that for me, so he'll be on there. I know Sam has done it, so he's going to be in there. And I
Yeah.
always tell people, don't sleep on it because you're gonna wish you were on it. Look at Jimmy. Less is
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. Shouts out to Jimmy. We love you, man. And
I
don't
know,
worry, I
man.
got your modern talking ready to go this Saturday on the house party, my mix show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously you see my major support on all the broadcasts because we do have the bump box logo always rotating, and that's been happening for several years now. And
And you also have a code too for your followers too. I am
yeah,
Slammin. So that's another thing that you can always get because this stimulus thing that we're doing, I'll probably end it by this coming weekend. So
uh-oh,
that is the lowest price we've ever gone, 20% off of our units. That's not going to end, that's going to end pretty quickly, probably this coming weekend. And so
gotcha.
then you know, Sam's got a 15%er that you could do, and also you can get a discount on that.
So right now, what's the percentage on the stimulus code?
It's 20%.
Got it.
The most we've ever done, 20% on
That's super
all
good.
the units. Yeah, it's super.
That
It's for
and that
electronics, 20% is a lot.
yeah, exactly. And getting back to the Ultra again, you could do your customization. I put some stickers here. You
Stick
could
it up.
see everything's kind of like you because you could just make it your own.
Yeah.
And when you do the video, the submission, you want to be able to have it stand out. So you encourage that, right, for customizations for everyone?
Dude, you got to make it your box, man.
Yeah.
You know, I used to, my old boxes, none of the ones that I have here are the ones that I used to really mess up and marker up and spray paint and stuff like that. Those are all busted because you know I walked around. It was on my bike, and those are all trash. But these, I mean, these ones that I have, I mean,
Hmm.
this is just a little bit of the ones that I have, small to
Wow.
large to,
Now,
yeah.
are you still like digging for boxes? You go flea markets or
Now you can't
secondhand
find
places?
them. You can't find them anymore. And then the ones that you do find on boxes is they're just beat up.
Right.
Yeah, they're everywhere but here. I mean, you know who has a lot of vintage boxes? Believe it or not, Russia.
I believe it.
Russia. They must have imported a crap load of them back in the 80s or 70s or 80s, and they're all there in mint condition. But it would cost you an arm and a leg to try to get them in here,
No
and
way.
you wouldn't know if they were going to get here in good condition. So I've seen them. I'm like, I hit up people all the time, man. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so right off the bat, my boom boxes back in the day was the name brands Sanyo,
Hmm.
Hitachi, Panasonic, and yeah, I wish I had at least one of them. But
Yeah, I think everyone that used to have them back in the days wish they had them. But you know what? I bet you right now is there's someone, especially in if you live in an older neighborhood, there is a boom box sitting in someone's garage right now, just freaking collecting dust and some like heavies. Because you know, like the ones that you say the Sony, they're good, but the heavy ones are like the Japanese brand ones that came out, like Well, Lasonic is an LA brand, but
Mhm.
Lasonic, and then I've got a bunch of other stuff that are here, like the Super Jumbo, which is
Right,
the
right.
Radio Raheem box.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's
Do the
my
right
favorite.
thing.
That's like that's iconic. You know, you
Yeah,
can't go wrong. Yeah,
yeah. That a lot of people were influenced from that movie to get boom boxes and stuff like that.
yeah,
And
man.
yeah, like you were like going back to what you were saying as far as the battery life, it would just you would just spend it in a few hours if you're just gonna just run it straight through. No way
Yeah,
around.
there's no way around it. Migs 180. He's a fellow boombox enthusiast like me. We
What's up,
actually put
Mix?
together the San Diego boombox meet, which we were supposed to have it again, but this whole coronavirus. So
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
trying to figure out how we're gonna do that
You can still
again
do a
with.
Zoom boombox thing, like a meet
Yeah,
where
we
everyone
could do
has.
that. But you know what? The boombox is really a culture. I mean, it's a culture. Those people that collect were part of a very small group of guys, girls that collect something that brings back, I mean, anything. You bring one of these out right here, you bring one of these out, and people go, I used to have one of those. I
Mm-hmm.
used to have the da 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 da. There's not a day or a place that you can't bring that out that someone will go, dude, that brings back so many, you know, so many memories of back in the day. So
What's Mix saying right now?
Miggs is saying he does a lot. His boxes are freaking cool too. He has a credit card only for D-size batteries. You know, yeah, man, it's the D-cell batteries. I mean, whenever we have a meet, we're always trying to go to the store and buy a bunch of batteries because we know they won't last long, or we
Right.
go and someone says, oh, I need batteries or something like that. So,
How
yeah,
did
man.
you ever consider the rechargeable batteries, and how did that work for you?
The rechargeable batteries, yeah, when I have batteries too, it's like the D-cell batteries, and you open up, they're plastic, and you put three AA batteries in it.
Okay.
And I've done that as well. But any way you put it, you're going to have to deal with the battery issues unless you Frankenstein it and you put a lithium battery in there. And
That's
people
right.
have done that. People put, lithiums, people put Bluetooth,
Mm-hmm.
stuff
Now,
on there.
has
But,
has anyone tried to like have you do customization and Frankenstein something, or did you are these things you don't do anymore, and you're just like
no, man, I
just
don't,
get a bump box, call it
yeah.
a day.
There's some people that will Frankenstein them, but I'm a purist. If you're gonna, like I say, if you're gonna walk the box, you gotta walk it like it was meant to be. So
Got it.
yeah, they're heavy, but you gotta deal with it. If our saying in the in the boombox community is, if it's too heavy for you, then it's probably not you know, your deal. You probably
Yeah,
shouldn't be walking around with a boombox.
yeah. Well, that's the thing too, because even with the Ultra, you still have these little hanger areas for the shoulder straps. So
Yeah.
there's a yeah, and then there goes Mix, no strap crew.
Yeah, we are a no strap crew. I never carry any of my boxes, whether it be a bump box
yeah.
or a regular boom box. I never put straps on there. As
Hmm.
Hip Hop Trooper would say, straps are for sissies. But
And Hip Hop Trooper, obviously when he's in full gear, he has his gloves on, and I've been following his work for years, and
Mhm.
he's been supporting the whole Bump Box brand for as long as I could remember. And he would do these walks around the conventions and just put up with the pain. That's just
Yeah.
truly remarkable.
Yeah, but you also have to remember, and a lot of people don't realize that because they see him on video and they see him, like on cameras, on photos and stuff like that. Strider, who's Hip Hop Trooper, is a huge guy. He's like 6'1", 6'2",
Right,
and
right.
he's really muscular. So when
Yeah, he's
he
no slouch.
walks, and he'll walk, before, because he's not sponsored by Bump Box anymore, but
Hmm.
him and I are still good friends, so that's not a problem. But when he used to rock the Bump Box, he could actually hold it out so it wouldn't rub against his armor because it
Right,
would
right.
mess up the paint. So
Yeah,
not only would he have to do the weight, but he'd have to hold it out. and this man could do that. And so, yeah, big ups to him. I mean, I could do that, but only for like a split second, and I have to lean it down. But yeah, man, yeah, a lot of people don't realize he's a big guy. He's tall. He's taller than me, so he's a big guy.
Yeah, and that's a perfect size to be able to handle like the freestyle ones or even the up rock. And that's
Yeah,
even
man.
a handful too.
He rocks his favorite box right now. He was rocking it the other night. Him and I did a live feed, and he was in his backyard cooking. He was barbecuing, and he was rocking his J1 Super Jumbo. His what you call it? His His Radio Raheem. He was rocking that. That's his favorite box.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Is he also a collector of boom boxes in general?
Yeah, he's a collector as well, man. He's part of that boombox crew, and there's a lot of people from all over the country, world, really, that collect. So yeah,
That's awesome.
it's fun. I wish I had more, but I love the big boxes, and there's only a couple of ones that I do want that's on my list that I haven't been able to find, but I'm not willing to pay for it. So that's the problem. That's the big problem. Money.
Well,
it's always money.
Exactly. We're always running into that. So before we go, let's do some shouts and plugs, and also your websites that everyone could reach out to you and get their very own bump box.
Yeah, so make sure you follow me on Instagram. Check out what I'm up to. Check out what's going to be happening. That's bumpbox.socal. And then on my Facebook, it's bumpbox.socal. Yeah, so reach out, and of course my webpage, bumpboxsocal.com. We're always having contests. I'm having a contest right now with Jimmy from Endless Tees and Marco from Chosen One Apparel and Hip Hop Trooper. 4 companies putting it all together. There's Jimmy right there chiming in. Jimmy came out with an awesome shirt. It's awesome. It says hold on, let me get it right. The anti-social distancing club, which we all are a part of. And so he just released that this week, and so we're doing a promotion for it. And you can hit him up on Endless Tees on his IG page and get into the drawing, because guess what? I'm giving away a free Ultra. Free Ultra. One of those.
One of these.
Yeah.
So you guys, hit up Les and get involved with the giveaway. And Jimmy, I need a cap for the broadcast. I need an Endless Tees cap.
He can make that work.
Exactly.
Come on, you guys are in the same city, bro.
Yeah, come by. We'll wear our mask and everything and do the exchange.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, it's been a pleasure having you on the program, Les. We're gonna do this again.
Yes, definitely.
I'm just really happy to know that you're doing your thing. You're staying true with the grounded element of being able to put together this culture with the boom boxes, and also expanding the boombox brand, and just letting everyone know that, hey, this is the way to go if you want to have this representing you.
Yeah, and also, Sam, I wanted to thank you too, because ever since I met you, you've always been a huge supporter of my brand. So I appreciate it. Much love to you.
Thank you.